Hi everyone, great to see you again. This is Ted with you. It's time for math class. Today we are looking at lesson 15. Lesson 15 is called Measuring Practice. We've been talking a lot about measuring things, measurements, standard units. Today we're going to practice. We're going to practice measuring things. Some measuring practice, I think, would be really good for me and you. So, what are today's key expressions? Let's take a look. Number 1, measure each item and write how long it is in centimeters. Measure each item and write how long it is in centimeters. Number 2, estimate the length of each item by looking at it. Estimate the length of each item by looking at it. Number 3, what is the best unit for measuring weight? What is the best unit for measuring weight? Number 4, write cold, warm, or hot for each temperature. Write cold, warm, or hot for each temperature. And number 5, would a snowman melt at 0 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius? Would a snowman melt at 0 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius? Okay. Looks like we're going to have a lot of good measuring practice today. Let's go on over to the chalkboard and practice some measurements together. Okay, welcome back. We are doing some measuring practice today. Measuring practice. We've learned a lot about measuring, haven't we? We've learned about standard units, and we've learned how to measure things, tools for measuring. Let's do some practice now. Are you ready? Great, me too. Let's see. Measure each item and write how long it is in centimeters. So centimeters we use for measuring length. We're going to use, what are we going to use? A ruler. Right, we're going to use a ruler to measure things, to measure their length. We're going to measure them in centimeters and write down how long they are. How about my candy bar here? Ooh, my candy bar looks like it's about 15 centimeters. The candy bar is about 15 centimeters. Okay? How did we do it? We used a ruler and we measured it in centimeters. Centimeters for measuring length. What else do we have? Oh, here we go. Wow. I have a remote control. How long is this remote control? Let's take a look. We're going to measure it using our ruler. Let's see here, about 20 centimeters. So the remote control is 20 centimeters. The remote control is 20 centimeters. 20 centimeters. The candy bar is 15 centimeters. 15 centimeters. Okay, so we've measured things using a ruler, using centimeters. Estimate the length of each item by looking at it. Now we're going to estimate. We're not going to give an exact measurement. We're going to estimate. Here we have a pair of shoes, and here we have a teddy bear. Let's estimate how long they are. Well, just by looking at it, to me, I'm going to guess that that's about 30 centimeters. That looks from here to here, I'm going to guess is about 30 centimeters. I'm estimating. It's not perfect, it's not exact, but sometimes you have to guess. How about the teddy bear? Well, if we look at it this way, it's a little bit longer, isn't it? So I'm going to say that the teddy bear is a little bit longer than the shoes. So we are going to estimate the length of the shoes is 30 centimeters, and we're going to estimate the length of the teddy bear is 35 centimeters. Estimating means guessing. Finally, what about weight? What if we want to measure how heavy something is? What is the best unit for measuring weight? Do you remember my friend? Do you remember his name? His name's David. Right, very good. Hello, David. Nice to see you again. We're going to measure David's weight. So what do we use? We use a scale, and we use kilograms. Remember, when we measure weight, we can use grams, or we could use kilograms. For smaller things, we use grams. But for bigger things, like people, like my friend David, we use kilograms. David weighs 50 kilograms. Okay, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about temperature. Okay, welcome back. Now for part 2, we're going to look at measuring temperature. Temperature. What do we use to measure temperature? We use a thermometer. Very good. Here we have 3 thermometers. We're going to use our thermometers to measure temperature. We're going to find out what the temperature is, and we're going to write cold, warm, or hot for each temperature. First, let's read the thermometers. Let's check the temperature. Over here, the thermometer is pretty high up. It says 34 degrees Celsius. 34 degrees Celsius. Notice how I wrote that. 34 degrees. The small little circle means degrees. 34 degrees C, Celsius. Wow, 34 degrees Celsius. What do you think? That's pretty hot. It's hot outside. It's 34 degrees Celsius. Let's look at the next one. 12, 14, 16. 16 degrees Celsius. Notice that the red is not as high. 16 degrees Celsius. Is that hot? No. Is that cold? That's not cold. So we're going to say that that is warm. 34 degrees Celsius is hot. 16 degrees Celsius is warm. How about our third thermometer? Ooh, it's pretty low. It says minus 10 degrees Celsius. Again, notice how I write this. Minus 10 degrees Celsius. Minus 10. Ooh. We know when we hear the word minus, that can mean only one thing. Cold. 34 degrees Celsius is hot. 16 degrees Celsius is warm. Minus 10 degrees Celsius is cold. Very good. We're measuring temperature very, very well. Now we have one final question here. Oh, here he is. Okay. There's our snowman. Happy looking snowman, isn't he? Now, would a snowman melt at 0 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius? Here we have two temperatures. Let me move the snowman over. We have a snowman. Here we have 30 degrees Celsius, and here we have 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius. Would the snowman melt at 0 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius? Right. Here we go. If it's 30 degrees Celsius, it's pretty hot. The snowman is gonna melt. We'll have to say goodbye to him because he will melt away at 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, everyone. Great work. We did a lot of measuring today, a lot of very, very good practice. Let's go and review what we learned. Okay, what did we learn today? Well, we practiced measuring. We learned how to do some measuring practice. What did we measure? Well, we measured the length, we measured some items, and we said how long they are in centimeters. We talked about length in centimeters. We also estimated some lengths in centimeters. To estimate means to guess. Make a good guess at how long something is. Finally, we asked the question, what is the best unit for measuring weight? Weight can be measured in grams or kilograms. We use grams for smaller things, kilograms for bigger things. My friend David, he's a person, so we talk about his weight in kilograms. In the second part, we looked at temperature. To measure temperature, we use a thermometer, and we use degrees Celsius. We looked at some different temperatures. Then we asked the question, would a snowman melt at 0 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius? Well, a snowman, he can live at 0 degrees Celsius, but he can't at 30. A snowman will melt at 30 degrees Celsius. A lot of good measuring practice, everyone. Great job, great work. Please review and please continue studying. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.